Today I'm going to be looking at this New International Version single column Pew and Worship Bible. This is a large print edition. It's really interesting because it's called a Pew and Worship Bible, but as you're going to see, it has some really nice features. It's also single column, which is not typically what you see in a Pew Bible. So this is just a really interesting Bible. They do also make this in a double column format in the large print, or you can get a regular size print. I think the regular size print is somewhere around a 9.5 to 10 point font, and the large print here is a 12 point font. So this is a comfort print Bible, and we'll take a look at that. I'll just quickly show you the back here. It retails for only $20. You can see some of the nice features there, which we'll take a look at. So I'd like to give 5 things that I've found about this Bible that are really nice. And then I will also give a couple of downsides to it. But let's start with some real positive things here. And the first one is that comfort print. I really like the comfort print for the NIV. And the comfort print is something you'll see in Zondervan and Nelson Bibles today. Comfort print was designed, I believe, by 2K Denmark, and it has a really unique design, and yet it's meant to be very readable. So as you can see here, I don't know that it's line matched. I can't say that for sure on this particular Bible, but it looks good. And so the first thing is that comfort print, being a 12-point comfort print in this edition, is really nice. The second nice thing is that it is single column, and as you can see, the paragraph format looks really good. You do have notes on the bottom, and when you get to poetic settings, you get that nice stanza formatting. So that looks really good. So again, you can see here just some of the formatting things they did. And here, where they have numbers, you just have the numbers out to the side there. So the formatting in this, I think, is really nice, and being single column format, I think it's great, especially in those poetic settings. You get the whole lines of poetry there, typically, and that looks really great with the stanzas. Just take a peek at the New Testament here, too, so you can see what it looks like as we go from the last book of the Old Testament, Malachi. We get to the New Testament here. And I just find for what's called a Pew and Worship Bible, this has a lot of really nice extra features. And you see that here. But again, I'm just showing you the comfort print single column format I think is really nice in this Bible. The third thing, though, that is really nice, and you get a glimpse of that, are these extra features. So here, right before the New Testament, we have the world of Jesus, Israel in the first century. Before the Old Testament, we have the kingdom of Israel and surrounding nations. And then you also have this artwork. So the introduction to the Bible here has some really nice things. It has this section here, the drama of the Bible. And this drama of the Bible takes biblical history and breaks it down into, I believe, 6 acts. God's intention, the exile, calling Israel to a mission, the surprising victory of Jesus, the renewed people of God, and God comes home. And then after that section on the drama of the Bible, it says, what now? And what this is all doing is giving a person who's new to the Bible a framework for reading the Bible, and them helping them to see what the Bible means for them personally. So this is a personal call into a relationship with Christ, living the script. So the story that's presented in the Bible, and then how we become part of God's story personally in our own lives. And there again is the drama presented in a visual form. They have a guide to the books of the Holy Bible here. So great intro material. This does have a simple paper dust jacket. Not much to it there, but it's nice. Gives a little added protection and looks really nice. I like the look of NIV products. And this is the hardcover look of the Bible. And there's the spine. So really nice. Another thing, though, along with that introduction section, the fourth thing that I'll say is really nice about this Bible is you actually get book introductions. Again, not something typical when you think of a pew Bible, but this particular one does have book introductions. And there's another book introduction for Exodus. And again, getting into the New Testament here, you will have a book introduction for Matthew. So really nice to have that. You don't always see that in Bibles. Some of them you do, but especially with pew Bibles, you don't typically see book introductions. And the final nice thing about this single column Pew and Worship Bible NIV is that the price on this, as I mentioned, is retailed for $20. You can even get it from CBD for maybe more like $15. So for $15, you're really getting a lot in here, really nicely printed with all of those extra features that I showed you. So there's a lot to like about this. There are a couple areas where I would say this Bible could be better. And it's interesting, on this single column edition, it does have a glued binding. So all of that paper is glued. In the double column large print Pew Bible, from what I read on CBD, it's a sewn binding. So specifically with this single column, if you get this one, it is a glued binding. It is pretty well made. So I don't think that's a huge issue if you're not constantly using it. But for those of you who prefer a sewed binding, you might want to go with the double column format. Another thing about this Bible is the paper on it is very thin. Now that's to be expected, especially with a single column format, but it is kind of noticeably thin. However, they did a good job with the printing. So, for what it is, it's not bad. It's not too bad, but the paper is on the thin side. When I compare it to another Pew Bible that I have, this is the CSB, I would say the ghosting is pretty similar actually. So I'm not saying the ghosting is super bad, but you do see ghosting in both of these. And I would say the paper on this CSB is a little bit thicker feeling, just has a nicer feel to it. The paper on this does definitely feel thin, but again, that probably has to do with how many pages they need to fit in here with a single column format. Double column formatting does make for better use of space. So again, the NIV double column Pew Bible might be a better option for you. It's a little bit smaller, but you still get the 12-point font if you get the large print edition. But single column is such a great reading experience. The verse numbers are still in there, and yet because it's single column paragraph formatting with poetic settings, it's just a great reading experience. So my overall take on this Bible is that it is really, for $20 or so, a very good value for you to have a hardcover, pretty durable Bible to carry around with you or to have in your study, and to be able to have a New International Version Bible that's very readable and usable for a good price. I think this is a really good option. So that's a look at the NIV single column Pew and Worship Bible, large print edition. Thank you as always for watching a look at this Bible from a fresh perspective.